Hi everybody, good morning. My name is Menachem Creditor, and it is my honor to serve as scholar in residence for UJ Federation of New York, where every weekday morning, 9 o'clock in the morning, we come to you with a little bit of music, a little bit of Torah, a lot of community, a lot of hope. So it is good to see all of you. It is Monday. Can you believe it? It's Monday again. I hope you had a good Shabbat. Hope you had a peaceful, restorative weekend. It is complicated to wish that for each other, given how elusive it can be, but the blessing that I wish for all of us is that it's within hand, that we know that we have each other, and that wherever you are, you manage to know that we're all in this together. It is good to see all of you. I'm looking at my other device to see who's here. So, let's see who we got. We have a good morning from a whole lot of sweet people. Penny, Jeff, Martine, it's good to see all of you. Hi, Carol. Who was the first to say hello? Adrian, you win lots of rabbi points today. Hi, Barry, Gina. All right. Seriously, anyone too young to understand a romper room reference won't understand how much I appreciate being able to even just say your names looking at this magic mirror. That is, it's actually a mirror. When I look at it, I see myself, but maybe it's a really magic mirror where we can see each other. So, let's get started on some Torah. Let's say a blessing for learning. Please, God, may we sit somewhere near beautiful light. So, let's take a deep breath, sing a blessing, learn some Torah. Hey Jeff, I see your question. You're asking about the three guitar chords. All right, ready? This is a D, G, D, G, D, C, D. Those are the three chords the whole way through. If you can believe it, this is one of those songs that have very, very little complexity to them, which is one of the reasons that the blessing itself, I think, is so easy to communicate, because it's not hard to know that being busy, la'asok b'divrei Torah, is something that is within reach, is a big gift. So, there is something really intense about this week's Torah portion. We're going to be looking at Parshat Korach. Korach, if you know the story, figures very centrally in the rebellion against Moses and Aaron, and ultimately against God. Korach is the cousin of Moses and Aaron. And you think about what rebellion represents, certainly in the book of Bamidbar, Numbers, where we are right now, there are 7 rebellions throughout the book. This, according to Rashi's count, is the 4th rebellion. And so, we're hard to please. People can be very hard to please, and certainly within the Israelite community, the ancestors of the Jewish community, we're hard to please. Even when we have what we need, we're barely ever satisfied. Now, on the one hand, that fuels incredible creativity and ambition from within the Jewish imagination. So thank God for our dissatisfaction with the way the world is. But it is also true that we are quick to rebel, quick to expect more. And it's complicated because sometimes we have enough, and sometimes recognizing the hardship that our leaders face is also a practice of abundance of another kind. So here's what I wanted to share just for today, and we'll be looking at Parshat Korach for the rest of the week, each weekday morning at 9, which is just an awesome time for us all to be together. Korach makes a claim. He is the leader of a popular rebellion, and he makes a claim, and part of what we need to understand about Korach is that he doesn't make it from a place of communal best interest. He taps into the way some people who are feeling anxious, feel left out, feel left behind. He says these words. He says, "Why do you take so much power to yourself? Ki kol ha'am kedoshim. Ki kulam kedoshim. Everyone is holy." Now, on the one hand, that sounds very compelling. Everyone is holy. Everyone is created in the image of God. No one is more godly than someone else. He's yelling it at Moses and Aaron. Number one, saying, "Why have you taken so much power upon yourselves?" And realize this, they haven't taken power upon themselves. They've been appointed by God. So he's not actually questioning them. He's questioning the legitimacy of their authority by attacking them from what sounds like a populist argument. When he says everyone is holy, it also sounds familiar, especially to ancient Israelite ears, because in the book of Leviticus, we have the command in chapter 19, Kedoshim to you, be holy. But listen to the difference between the language. In Leviticus, the language is Kedoshim to you, be holy. And here is the verse from this week's Torah portion. You can look it up. Chapter 16, verse 3 from the book of Numbers. Vayikahalu al Moshe ve'al Aharon. They gathered against Moses and Aaron. Vayomru alehem rav lachem. And they said to them, too much on you, too much power upon you. Ki chol ha'ida kulam kedoshim. For the entire community, everyone is holy. Uvetocham Adonai. And in the midst of them is God. Umadua titnasu al kehal Adonai. Why do you raise yourselves above God's congregation? It sounds like righteous indignation. It sounds like a claim of dignity that isn't being conferred. It's very compelling. If you took it out of context, it might even sound like righteous protest. But in fact, if you look at the reality that's surrounding them, and you look at the way that they're manipulating people's language and their ears and our hearts and our imagination, Rav lachem, too much on you? All right, I get it. I don't like ceding control over myself to someone else, that's for sure. But more than that, listen again to the way the words from Leviticus are twisted. In Leviticus, in Vayikra, chapter 19, Kedoshim to you, be holy. But here, it says, Ki chol ha'ida kulam kedoshim. We are holy. You see, there's a noble aspiration in the book of Vayikra. We are called in the Holiness Code, chapter 19 of Leviticus, be holy. Everyone has the potential to actualize the depths of a soul. To be holy is to be a righteous community of universal dignity. Be holy. Aspire to holiness. That's the command. But in Korach's twisted way, it's good spin. He must have had a great branding and communications department. Everyone is holy, is his claim. We already did it. We're already there. We all matter equally. Except recognizing the claim of Leviticus is not the same as saying we already got there. Leviticus says you could get there. Reach for it. Everyone should be holy. Everyone should be treated as holy. Kedoshim to you is a collective. Be holy as a community. Reach higher and higher and higher. And Korach says, I'm tired of you being in charge. We're already there. Why are you fighting for justice? Why are you fighting for universal dignity? We've already got it. We don't need to do that anymore. Why are you focusing on that? The answer is because we're supposed to and we're not there yet. Sometimes the language of rebellion and revolution can be used by those who are simply power hungry. That's the dangerous lesson of Korach. The most insidious rebellions use the language of populism. And the rebellions themselves are not actually being waged from the grassroots. They're not being waged by the population. Remember one thing about Korach that we need to know. He was Moses' cousin. He was already in the tribe of Levi, who in those days were already the elite. What an incredible, weird thing to see Korach, who is already in a position of incredible privilege and incredible power, using the language of universal dignity, but manipulating it to have his way. This is a very important part of the Torah because it's so relevant. This is how politics go. It's not new. It's not even clever. It's just well rehearsed. And the problem is, all of us are so ready to hear the kind of language that tells us everything's fine. We're already there. If only someone would recognize that we're already there, we wouldn't have to fight so hard. Except, we do. We do have to fight so hard. What a worthy fight to live up to the blessing, challenge, and rebuke, actually, of Vayikra of Leviticus. We're not all in a place where we're actualizing our holiness, and we're not already in a place where we treat each other with dignity. You can't say everybody is holy. You can say everyone should be treated as holy. Everyone should act holy. Who knows when we'll actually reach that, but we know we're not there yet. So, Korach sounds compelling. Korach uses language that is tinged with holiness, but he himself is more interested in his own power, his own place in the center of things. He's not fighting for the sake of heaven. He's fighting for the sake of him. That's how tradition has always seen Korach. He uses language that sounds holy, that sounds compelling, that even sounds like my own broken heart, but in fact is more interested in displacing his cousins so that he can take their place. So let's think about models of leadership this week. Korach is an incredibly important thing for us to look at. So let's look closely, and let's go into this week with incredible purpose and clarity. So Boker Tov, everybody. Good morning. See you tomorrow at 9.